better based on game one, or will it be the same? Remember, RRQ, they want to win and secure, solidifying themselves in that second place. Meanwhile, Bigatron needs to get out of that, well, almost red zone. Will they be able to catch up and equalize in game two? Let's see and find out. Land of Dawn, here we go for game two, RRQ and Bigatron Alpha.
Let's see what happens in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, it starts right now. It's RRQ with a possibility to clean sweep BTR, shoving them to the 7th place position. But when we take a look at this right here, Super Ken getting leashed early on versus Albert on the box shot. Both junglers on a path to collide somewhere in the turtle side. But it actually seems like, no, actually both teams will just be maneuvering two different sides of the map here.
Oh, all right, we'll see here again. Composition-wise, well, spell-wise rather, 4 flickers already in play. Oh my god, man. Forcing keys, flicker early.
Pretty early on for right now, and it does seem like Bigatron Alpha are still going to be playing it pretty passively, right? Knowing that they have the Kagura, the power spike hits at level 4. That's when he can really put the killing pressure down. So not as mobile as they were actually in game number 1.
But the thing is about the Kagura is the fact that they can utilize it to open up vision to try and prevent Keyboy from going in for a pickup onto her in the mid lane. And I think that's the only, I would say, benefit of having the Kagura right now in this current meta. And they need to be able to work around the fact that they don't have much of a setup for the Kagura. I guess Key can look for a pickup for the follow-up with the burst damage coming from Moreno, but other than that, I just don't think that Bigatron Alpha synergizes well in terms of that composition.
All right, here, and ladies and gentlemen, discount 20% here, MPL. They use the code promo, but it seems like it's a very, very quiet 2-minute here in our second game. Bigatron Alpha, they don't mind playing towards the late game. They have the Alice, they have the Melissa as well. Meanwhile, the question now, RRQ, are you comfortable going to the late game? Albert, though, with the shield unity, will crash onto Banana. Albert playing, looking for the 3-on-2. Moreno jumps in, but Banana finding the lower, third turtle rather. Albert now with low HP. Key, though, will be the first one to fall. First blood, 1-1. A jungle for a roamer.
But in that sense, it's worth it for Bigatron Alpha. They got the Lord as well, no?
No, Banana actually took the turtle there in the second minute of the game. And also, honestly, for the trade, jungle versus roam, in terms of how they traded there, I think it should still be worth for Bigatron Alpha, because Albert dying will mean that Super Ken will be able to invade a bit more, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Super Ken, unfortunately, wasn't able to go over towards the turtle because he didn't have the purple buff. On the Alice, you're even more reliant on the purple buff than a Ling or even a Fanny, actually.
I think mana is a huge problem for Alice, especially in the early game. She needs to get that stacks up to be able to withstand how much spells she needs to output in order to clear the jungle. I think that's one of the main weaknesses of the Alice, especially in the early game as well. But so far, she's been doing quite a good job. I mean, versus Albert's still the same level here. Not really sure about the gold gap, but maybe that's because Albert has been taken down.
A little bit of gold to play with, honestly, for the side of Bigatron Alpha. And now they should really utilize this winning lane, right? I mean, Vin and Skylar have already positioned up top, and they might actually be going on to Sakin, but Vin makes the right move, just opens up the map, knowing the Key on the Divine Judgment has a better source of engage, more reliable one, but the purple buff here.
Oh, Super Ken will not be able to get that, and get the stun as well. Banana, what is he on? My goodness. Finding the engage and finding the kill as well with that flicker. RRQ now in the mid side will not commit to another fight just yet, as the turtle will spawn very, very soon.
Again, Super Ken getting harassed. Vin also bursts it down.
Nasty, nasty composition now. RRQ, 4-man, 5-man setup actually for the second turtle. Gorizo jumps in. Banana again targets Moreno. Moreno with the juke. Vin again in the backside. Albert will control that Lord. Vin will be taken down though. Albert now dealing damage onto a Supercan. So Rizzo takes a lot of damage as well. Terrified comes through. He gets taken out. Oh my goodness, RRQ, they might want more here, but no. Bigatron Alpha falls back.
1,000 gold lead already here, and you can feel the killing pressure. It's starting to turn. What initially was, oh my god!
Flicker, Divine Judgment, and more than enough. Extra 200 gold there for Saken. But Skylar is munching the gold shield top side. They might want more. Moreno jumps in onto a Skylar defensive flicker. He survives without any backup. Take a look at the snap as well. Connecting on towards Moreno. Not enough damage to take him down just yet, though.
Did Vin smash onto the wall?
Yeah, and he used the flicker too, so it's a bit harsh there for Vin, and he got hit by a wall, man. I hope he's all good now, but RRQ with a 1,000 gold lead, again, over-committing and giving Bigatron Alpha a chance to come back in this game. We saw that Clay was staying a bit too long here. Supercan still able to secure his own purple buff, as he still actually has the level lead against Albert, who is winning currently in the game. 5 minutes in, and RRQ, that 1,000, almost 1.5k gold lead is almost gone. If you take a look at the itemization, though, this time around, it's still the Beatrix who has a bit more of a gold lead compared to the Melissa, getting the Fury Hammer and 2 Legion Swords here to build up to that BOD. He went for the steel leg plates too, and same goes for Saken. Again, opting to go for the steel leg plates a bit early on here. 1-0 and 1 is his KDA. So far, it seems like he is a bit more stable than game number 1.
I have a question, though.
Go.
With the Boxia pickup for Albert and the passive that is still the same, right, from the previous season, and if the fact that Supercan at the end of the day is going to rely on her Blood Ode or the ultimate that she has, doesn't that deny her regen
It does.
if Albert is on the Boxia?
Yep, it does. That's why the Boxia pick is usually used against Esme, against the Alice, and because of that, it also enables the other members to maybe go for another item instead of the Dominance Ice.
All right, and so far it looks like it's been working well. And I think I've mentioned this before, that Supercan, because he's forced on the Demon Slayer to get a little bit more clear, Supercan is going to get that late game power spike a little too late, but look at this.
Albert with the Lord, with the turtle take, Clay gets taken out, and take a look at Vin though. He will be munched down by Cerezo. Saken joins in. Well, not on towards the fight though, so it seems like Bigatron, they have equalized, and even though they lost the neutral objective, they might want the mid side here. Albert will not have enough wave clear perhaps, but yeah, mid tier 1 from RRQ will fall. OP with the suppression on towards Skylar. Take a look at that. Skylar with the defensive flicker will not be able to survive. Moreno picking up a kill. Albert now quite low as well. Clay jumps in just to zone members away, but Supercan, he might want more from the jungles of RRQ.
There's no reason not to go for this, and he will be able to take that orange buff. Once again, Supercan displaying how good he is at actually utilizing the Alice and the pathing. Eterna, you mentioned, man, you know, you don't want to get these predictions wrong. You're the only one who went for RRQ. Everybody is looking at you. You're the only one. 5 BTRs to 1 RRQ. Now, if this ends up with RRQ winning, then it's going to be pretty good. But I think he has learned from his mistakes on the Kaja as well. He's forcing the tempo now. And even purple buff there is going to be stolen away. Supercan.
Everyone is looking at you, Eterna. Everyone. Literally.
Every single one.
Even the viewers are looking at your name on the top right.
Even production.
Even
the players.
Even the players as well. Take a look at the items here. What's significant?
Well, if we take a look at the items here, honestly, what's significant is the lack of dominance ice from the side of the XP lane, right? Why? Because they already have the Boxia to play with. That's why there's one less dominance ice in the game. Usually would expect two, the XP lane and the Roma, but because the Boxia already has it here, they're just opting to put Banana on a position where he can go for more defensive or offensive. It really depends on how he wants to go for it. But I think what I want to highlight even more here is Bigatron Alpha's understanding now of getting the Melissa ahead in lane against Skylar on the Beatrix. A few of these picks by the Kaja have been basically given to Saken. 1 kill, 2 assists, a lot of gold, and that lane swap as well to take the turret. Melissa does the best when she is in the lead, and right now we are kind of seeing it, despite Skylar still having the level lead. Somehow, some way, this man.
Amazing setup here, perhaps from RRQ. Shield Unity, Vindo jumps in, no connection. Vin now chunks, flickers away. Banana will find the front line. And take a look at Chorizo and Moreno. Will not commit on towards Vin just yet. So Chorizo flickers on towards Skylar. Super can finding the Lord. And now Bigatron, they're looking for the collapse. Banana flickers away. RRQ will not be able to win anything, but no casualties on the board.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful play by Bigatron Alpha. That was a really good retry as well by Superken. And that's a really good one against Albert, who is on the utility jungler as well. They are going to be able to manipulate all three lanes to potentially crash at once and get a lot of trades on the board. RRQ now, they're the ones that are fumbling for an answer. 3,000 gold lead built, and Melissa with an additional item there.
10 minutes in this time, the Golden Staff was built. Last game, it was 13 minutes, so you can already see the big difference in the timing as to when they get it. And also key, the Kaja. Playing the fast tempo is key on the Kaja, because that's literally what the... Okay, I see you looking at me. That was not intended, by the way. That pun, no, all right? Eterna, it was not... I did not intend for that to happen. But yeah, Kaja does really well when he's ahead, when he has a lot of map pressure to utilize. And this is one of the moments where Saken was able to siege down a lot of the turrets, and now finally able to utilize the muddles as well to create a big opening. Finn as well with the Thunder's Revenge. That's on cooldown. That's a big resource that now Bigatron can use to maybe punish RRQ in the base.
Seems like here, with the defense though, RRQ, they're able to defend the base turret bot side. With the Lord though, it will delete all of the inner and outer turrets. Oh, Flicker Divine Judgment now connecting all towards one. Clay deleted. Albert now quite low. Finds Key though, he gets taken down as well. As Banana, low HP, still survives. It's gonna be Key for Clay and Albert. Now, Big H-Ron, they might be able to take the turret top side, but it seems like no minions to play with.
Absolutely none right now. I guess the mid lane is still pushing in favor of Ken if he wants to go into the back line and disrupt Skylar.
Banana with the bravest fighter. With Skylar there, they're able to defend. 5,000 gold lead now for the Red Robots. Miracle, how are you feeling?
Well, feeling as usual, you know, I mean, can't get too ahead of yourself, especially Bigatron Alpha having that pattern, unfortunately, in Season 11 to lose that gold lead. If we take a look at the items, though, here, the Corrosion Sight, the DHS, and the Golden Staff has been built, like we mentioned, in the 10th minute mark. But then, now it comes down to what he wants to prioritize Saken, because he is technically the main damage dealer for Bigatron Alpha. They've built a proper front to back around him, and if he gets picked off first in the team fight, it's going to be disastrous. Maybe here is the time to go for a little bit of defense, right? Maybe he wants to go for the immortality, but looking at the build, it does seem like he just wants to go for the Malefic Roar, which can work. It really, again, comes down to his positioning and the rest of Bigatron Alpha's positioning. They need to always be aware of that Tyrant's Revenge that can come through from almost every angle. But in this game, actually, no, it won't come through any angle. It actually will only come through one angle. RRQ, when they're behind, when Vin doesn't have the space, he doesn't even look to flank sometimes. He just plays around the bushes, around his side.
And to make things worse, man, Moreno already has a Divine Glaive as well, so the damage output is going to be felt heavily for RRQ, as they are going to be able to get a Lord uncontested. RRQ, 13 minutes in, literally no answer whatsoever to Bigatron Alpha.
You know what? It seems like Melissa here has learned his lesson here, Mirko. I think he saw your pointers, and take a look at the players' gold as well. Top 3, 2 members from Big H-Ron.
It's the Ken-Ken combo, Super Ken and Saken, right? You said they can't in game 1, but now they can.
Good, good. Good, I want that, right? Super can do it, or Sak can do it, right? Damage done still, Banana, whoa!
Banana is an absolute monster, and honestly in this game, one of the main pillars as to why RRQ hasn't lost yet with a lot of clears.
Okay, base turret mid will fall. Key still holding his flicker. 2 base turrets taken down already, top side left standing. RRQ now. They're gonna look perhaps for a defense here. Force the defense top side. But it seems like now Banana trying to find the right engage. Moreno ready to pull the trigger in the backside. Ben also in the backside here, waiting to charge. Oh, wow. Almost gets Saken with the sidestep there now. Base turret stands tall. That's wall. Now, Banana in the backside, low HP, retreating as well. Vin gets taken out though. but it's not RRQ. Banana trying to deal damage onto Moreno. Big A-Tron still strong with 5. The damage will come through towards Skylar. Things are not looking good here for the Kings of Kings. Albert now taken out as well as the base will fall and Bigatron equalizes in game 2. Hello, game 3.
Forcing a game number 3. Miracle is looking ecstatic right now. And that was just beautifully done. You don't want to see an Alice snowball. And Bigatron were able to facilitate that from happening.
That's why, Eterna, if you don't want to lose the prediction, stick with your guts, man. RRQ, the only RRQ vote, I think there especially. Now, in game 1, I still like Bigatron's draft, but in game 2, I really like the draft. There was still a big doubt in my head because of the execution that was pretty poor in game number 1, but I don't know if that was true or not, Donnie, but yeah, it does seem like Saken has, you know, listened in, understanding exactly this game. It was perfect from him, knowing when to go in and when to play behind. In that team fight, you saw Saken with a beautiful sidestep from Vin. Credit where credit is due. Game number 1, a lot of mistakes, but he literally just fixed those mistakes in a matter of, what, 5-15 minutes?
Yeah, perhaps that small break was all he needed to, again, elevate his gameplay. And there you go, game 2, 1-2-1.
She doesn't know who to support.
She doesn't know who to support. Vivian Maria. Oh, take a look at Super Ken's fashion here. But RRQ, I feel like from the draft, it was a, I don't know, I just liked the draft from side of Bigatron's better.
I agree. I think, again, the Alice, even yesterday against Onyx, it felt like the draft was better. And in many cases, I think there is an argument to be made that it was better. It just became a problem for Bigatron Alpha when the players weren't able to utilize the win conditions properly.